I'm the least of my brothers. It's honorific. Keeps you from getting beat up. It's a warning to the interloper. Like, I mean, Rome, I can't possibly rape all these Protestants by myself. The Philistines think that they can, like, basically, they rape somebody. And if you don't kill them, it's like, well, we can't stop them. That is their claim to sovereignty. And on the face of it, they're here to correct the injustices. But in fact, they're here to commit injustices. It's a racket. It's not just about justifying the budget, or you're going to lose it every single fiscal quarter. Like, you need to have an atrocity to justify keeping your job. In 1987, they raped an Irishman. Okay, now the Irish did not kill them, therefore the Irish are pussies. They blamed an Italian who didn't do it. They didn't even say anything to his face. They used that to indict the alma mater, Princeton University. They used that to infiltrate the casinos. They put the cops in the casinos, Casino Control Commission. This is why Donnie Brasco and American History X are two fictional parts of the same non-fiction story. The KKK is Protestant. I don't know if you were aware. They don't get it. Play Muslim games, win Muslim prizes. You idiots. So because the Irishman didn't kill an Italian for something he knew nothing about, America is now the world's biggest bitch. Because the Protestants think they can rape somebody under sedation and then report to their home planet that the rape occurred, and they take the reward and leave the poor kid to die, find out about it in hell. So they're cradle raping the Irish and hiding behind a space program to kill them. What Edward Norton and Johnny Depp might not know is that the Irishman was 7 years old, and 4 years prior he stomped on the face of the firstborn son of a Protestant, German, and Soviet Canadian. Yeah, Ivana Trump was born a Soviet. Makes you wonder what the Texas State Attorney General did to get that job. Look at him. Look at his eye. See, Christians take, someone worthy, like, this will be our king. He'll represent us in the games. Protestants do a bunch of dirt and pick some retard to take the fall. But you're not just gonna, lie, like rob and rape and blame, and then expect somebody to know what the hell you're talking about. Like, behind it, just because I know it's a space program doesn't mean I was in on it. I know how UN population credit works, and I'm a theologist. Like, I'm not an expert on Catholicism or Islam. I'm an expert on the rise of the First Reich, also known as the Dark Ages. You see, we have the Bible, and then we have the Catholic Church, the Second Nicene Council, and then the Muslims invaded Europe, banned reading. Well, okay, Charlemagne was coronated king of the Holy Roman Empire in the year of our Lord 800 Anno Domini. He basically defrauded the Vikings, the Pope, the Franks. You can't win with Islam, and you can't win for losing either, because it means submission, meaning you give up and now you're the winner. That's why the Protestants pick the dumbest. Their most spotless, untouched, virgin lamb, so they can do whatever they want. And then they just protect that idiot. It's Islam. Fascism rejects the church, usually by impersonating it, corrupts the government, which is real hard because it's mostly rednecks, 18-year-olds. They don't understand Catholicism. They don't understand Christianity. They don't understand classicism. You read and write with the alphabet, right? Okay, so That's Greek. I don't claim to know God's plan. I know it was written in Greek. I know they reported Patrick Tillman's death suicide after he was shot twice in the head at range. They changed it, but they kept doing it. Now it wasn't headlines anymore. The third world has been entrapping and framing our youth for $200 a pop for 20, 30 years. They used to have billboards on the side of the road. Does your friend do drugs? Turn him in. $200. Well, they got wind of that overseas because $200. We're all connected to your telephone. And we end up with leadership that's just too goddamn stupid to know there's a problem, let alone fix it. An American life is worth 10, 20,000 overseas, so they liquidated our SGLI. They called our KIAs suicide. Screw their families. Doesn't make headlines. Doesn't pay out. They kept it. And they used that to declare a mental health crisis. Now we've got an economic, medical, industrial bubble. When that pops, you can't just have all these medical professionals go out of business all at once. So now that's how the pandemic started. And they blame China because they're stupid. They owe China money. And they think they can just hide behind defense, but it's not going to work like that anymore. And you can't ban rendition. And I mean, you can't call yourself a Christian. You can't call yourself a Judeo-Christian. You know what? You can't call yourself a human and ban rendition. It is not within the scope of human authority, let alone Washington's. Well, we're not going to pay you. In what? Little Irish kid's ass? I'll put two in your skull and call it a suicide.